Today, I'm going to show you how to use this visual presenter for distance learning. Hi there, my name is Ed Choi. Thank you for joining me today. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. In my channel, I talk about everything to do with the office, and today we're talking about using this visual presenter for distance learning. So in my last video, we talked about how the visual presenter is a great in-room presentation tool, but one of the things that you can do with the visual presenter is actually connect it to your computer, and now it becomes a great distance learning tool. So for those of you that are doing remote meetings or remote teaching sessions using Zoom, Link, Skype, any of those software devices using your computer, this becomes an extension of your presentation tool. So rather than just giving boring PowerPoint presentations, you can make it a little bit more interactive by using a visual presenter. Now you might be asking, what's wrong with my little camera on my computer? Well, you can see that my camera is fixed on my computer, so it's only pointing one way. It's going to be really hard to bend my computer down to my notebook, for example, if I want to show something on my notebook. So I'm going to show you today on how to connect the visual presenter to your computer, and we're actually going to be doing a call with the folks at National Source AV. They're the kind folks that lent us the ELMO MXP2 document camera. Once the USB connector is connected to my visual presenter and to my laptop, a green power button will come on. So this is all powered over a single USB cable, which makes it super handy. So if you want to do a straight up video conferencing call, you don't need to download the ELMO Interactive Toolbox, because the visual presenter here will show up as a secondary camera when you connect to your device. I'll show you how that works in a little bit. The true benefit of downloading the ELMO Interactive Toolbox is that it gives you a whole host of features. So what I'm going to do is open up my ELMO Interactive Toolbox application just to give you an idea of what it looks like. So from here, we have just a blank slate that it comes up with when you open up the software. If I had an interactive flat panel display, I can use a stylus or my finger and annotate on there. It becomes just a plain old whiteboard. Now, if I want to go into my visual presenter mode, I'm going to click on this little icon here that looks like a visual presenter. And on the top right, you'll see the icon to get into the visual presenter mode. In this case, now I've got of course, my FaceTime HD camera that's connected. This is coming from my laptop, but we want, in this case, the MXP2. We're gonna go there and I'll just give it a moment and we're gonna switch it over to our visual presenter. So what we're gonna do now is we'll connect to Andy over at National Source AV, and I'll show you how this is used in a conferencing application. All right, so I just got a Zoom invite from Andy over at National Source AV. I'm going to connect to him via Zoom and show you how this visual presenter works in a conferencing call. So let's go ahead and join him on this call here. So as you can see before I connect to the Zoom call, that the ELMO visual presenter is showing up as my main camera. So I can toggle back and forth between my visual presenter and my regular built-in camera. But today what we're going to use is our visual presenter as our main camera. So here we go. Let's join Andy. So I've got Andy over here at National Source AV. We are connected via Zoom. I'm going to actually flip the camera over here so Andy can see me. And this is the Zoom call. We're using the ELMO visual presenter here as our main camera. Andy, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you see me?
I absolutely can. Looks good.
Wave hi to my YouTube audience for me, please. So this is Andy over National Source AV. He was kind enough to lend me this ELMO visual presenter. And Andy, what we're doing is just a test call to make sure that you can see me. And I'm showing my YouTube audience here on how to use the visual presenter in a distance learning call. So as you say before, you can see me correctly?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Looks good. The audio's coming through good, and then everything you're showing me so far looks really clean.
Awesome. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip over the camera so Andy can see this vintage coin that I have here. This is from the 1900s. I believe it's a dollar coin. It's a collectible. So I'll see if Andy can actually make out some of the writing on here. So Andy, I'm going to flip it over to my notebook here. And I'm going to zoom it in. Actually, you know what we'll do is we'll zoom it in a little bit using the digital zoom. Now this is a 16-time digital zoom, so Andy can actually see all the details. Andy, can you see what year this coin was made in?
1900.
Awesome. So this is a great way for distance learning, especially if you're showing small objects on a video conferencing call. This is a great way to introduce just a little bit of a different element to your presentations rather than just doing a straight up video call or a PowerPoint call, which can be kind of boring. This adds another element. And of course, if Andy wants to see me, of course I can still do that, and then we can still have our conversation, but then I can also go back to my visual presenter. Having said that, if I was a math teacher or physics teacher in a distance learning environment, I might want to do something like this. Andy, we're going to do a little math lesson here. How's your math, Andy?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Find out.
So we could do things like this. Tell me you know the answer to that. What's the answer, Andy?
4.
4. So now if you can't see this, let me zoom in. I'll show you what I'm working on here. It's a little math problem. 2 times 2 equals 4. That's what I've got on my notebook here. Hopefully you can see that. So I've got this underneath my visual presenter, and it becomes a really cool teaching tool now, because instead of using a whiteboard in a distance learning environment, what I can do is use my visual presenter and a notebook. If I want, let's say, a slightly bigger view, it's easy. What I'm going to do is just extend my camera like this. So now we have a wider angle view. I'll zoom all the way out. So I'm going to see if I can explode my view a little bit to see what Andy is seeing. Now you're seeing the flip side of what I'm writing, but Andy is actually seeing things correctly, the right side. So there you go. It's nice and big image. And of course, Andy can see everything that I'm writing over here. How do you like it, Andy?
It looks great.
Thanks so much for lending us this visual presenter. I think it's a really awesome tool, and I'm going to surely be using it a lot more during some of my video conferencing calls. So thanks a lot.
Excellent. Thanks for doing the review for us.
No problem. All right, so we're signing off. So this is the visual presenter from ELMO called the MXP2. It's available through National Source AV. I'll leave some links down below to the software for the ELMO visual presenter and a link to National Source AV. And of course, if you like this video, please feel free to share this with your friends, family, and coworkers. And by now, if you haven't done so already, please press on the subscribe button and tap on that bell so you can be notified of my weekly video uploads. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.